Welcome back to Johnny's Scramble Drill. This is the Week 9 edition. I'm Stucky, and joining me, as always, none other than Mr. Johnny Manziel. As we do each and every week, we will go through three of the marquee games on Saturday's slate. Johnny, it looks like it's going to be another good college football Saturday. We'll kick things off with a game with a ton of intrigue between Notre Dame and undefeated Navy at MetLife Stadium. Notre Dame, double-digit favorite here. Historically, teams that are undefeated, catching double digits in week 7 or later, have not fared too well against the spread. Navy did put up 56 on Memphis. Other than that, the schedule has been pretty weak. Notre Dame has obviously played a much tougher schedule. This will be the toughest defense Navy has faced by a wide margin. Johnny, what are you seeing here?
I'm seeing this game's going to be a little bit different for Navy than what they're used to this year. They're obviously playing a really good Notre Dame defense. Really gone over in a lot of their games this year. I'm going to mix it up a little bit. I'm going to take the under in this game. I think more than anything, this is going to be one of those games that Navy's going to have to, fight it out, do what they do, and run the ball and try and scratch and claw and keep their way in it. But I think this is something they've been good enough this year to prove that they can hang.
Yeah, Navy has been an over machine, but this total might be getting a little up there, and it might not be as easy for the Navy offense as it has been in weeks past, and they've definitely benefited from some just unbelievable luck when it comes to red zone execution, turnovers, and I think that they're definitely going to want to try and shorten this game as well, which could work in your favor. Let's transition to the Big Ten, and let's go to Camp Randall for Penn State taking on Wisconsin. Wisconsin has played better of late. Braden Locke's playing better. They're getting some juice from Tawi Walker at running back, but Wisconsin has played the three of the worst teams in the Big Ten. So how much can we take from their recent performances? Definitely a question worth asking here. Penn State in a bit of an odd spot. They're coming off of a bye, but they do have Ohio State on deck. Penn State sitting right around a 6.5 to 7 point favorite all week. Wisconsin, for what it's worth, as a home underdog, the most profitable program as a home dog since 2000, minimum 10 games. I think they're 10-4 against the spread. Johnny, do you like the home dog here, or do you like the Nittany Lions to get it done on the road in a hostile environment?
Yeah, I'm going to take the home dog here. I'm going to take Wisconsin. They've only given up, 16 points over the last 3 weeks. I think their defense has been playing a lot better. This is one of those games for Penn State where are they looking a little bit ahead the next week to that big game they have against Ohio State? It's one of those things that, you're playing in a hostile environment. You have to go on the road. I think this is a game that Wisconsin's going to be fired up and ready to go for.
Yeah, that Penn State offense, can they find some more explosiveness? That's something that's really been lacking from them, especially in the run game. And that's really where you have to attack this Wisconsin defense. I'm sure the Badgers will come out ready to go in front of what should be a raucous crowd. And of course, we have to finish up with your Aggies at night. Speaking of hostile environments, at night, Kyle Field hosting LSU in, I don't know if many would have predicted this, but the two teams sitting atop the SEC leaderboard and undefeated at this point in the season. This game, major implications as far as the SEC championship, college football playoff. I think the winner of this game is in the driver's seat for college football playoff berth. The loser can still get there, but I don't think we'll have any margin for error. The winner, can probably drop another game and still get there at 10-2. So this is a huge game. LSU has played better of late. Texas, for what it's worth, SEC underdogs have been just cashing at a very high clip this season. Texas A&M, small home favorite. Johnny, do they get it done in College Station?
Yeah, I'm going to take my Aggies money line. I think this is a game that they've seen over the last couple of weeks, really what their blueprint is and what they want to do offensively. Look, you're going to have to run the ball against the good LSU defense, but I think this is something they're capable of doing. Luckily, you get this game at home. This game scares me a little bit with how gritty and just LSU seems to just watching that game they had against Ole Miss a couple weeks ago. They seem to battle, they seem to fight and find a way to get it done offensively even if it's not always pretty. So I think this is a game A&M is going to have to be really, really physical on the defensive line, and a game they're going to have to run the ball. This is another thing. This Texas A&M team, it has to, begin and end in the trenches. If they don't get it done up front, don't get the run game going, I'll definitely be a little bit worried. But I think this is something they can do on Saturday night.
Yeah, it's a great point because the matchup to watch, in my opinion, is that LSU offensive line, which has NFL talent, does a good job in pass protection, versus that Texas A&M defensive front, which also has NFL talent and can really get after opposing quarterbacks. Can they get to Nussmeier? Can they put LSU behind the chains? I think that's probably going to go a long way in determining this one. And maybe LSU will have some false start issues like they did against Arkansas last week. It's definitely going to be loud in College Station. By the way, saw Mike Evans, your friend, the legendary future Hall of Famer, go down with an unfortunate injury, and also his teammate Chris Godwin also with that was tough to watch. I think he like mouthed, "My career is done." Uh, so just curious to get your thoughts there. If you send him a message or because he's just been a consistent machine for years in the NFL.
Yeah, he has been every single year that he's played. He's really had to avoid that, injury bug or really had to avoid, missing any really critical time. That 1,000 yard season mark that he's had every single year since he's been in the league is kind of a little bit, on the fence now, depending how long he's going to be out. But, I'm always wishing Mike nothing but the best. It was tough to see him go down on Monday night, but knowing who he is and what kind of guy he is, I know he's rehabbing to try and get his way back and be out there for his Tampa Bay teammates.
All right, good stuff, Johnny. You're rolling with the home dog, Wisconsin, the small home favorite on the money line, Texas A&M, and the under in Navy Notre Dame at MetLife Stadium. Also, Johnny, before I let you go, you do have something that you want to promo, so the stage is yours.
Yeah, big podcast coming out today. First guest had Tavon Austin on, so really getting a chance to dive into some awesome, college sports legends and getting a chance to sit down and interview some guys. So, started off with a bang with probably one of the greatest highlight tapes, one of the best receivers that I got the chance to watch growing up playing. So, Glory Days coming out. You can watch it, anywhere you get your podcast at YouTube, Spotify, wherever it may be. So, really looking forward to continue this series, getting a chance to sit down with some absolute legends coming up, and I'm excited about it.
Looking forward to listening. That's Glory Days, Daze, right?
Yep, Daze, taking it back to the glory days a little bit.
Perfect. Yes, make sure you check that out wherever you listen to podcasts. Should be good. I'll see you next week, Johnny.
See you, buddy.